Aloha, everyone! It's Gabriel. Are you still feeling the summer heat? Well, think again. I'm going to do part 2 of my Alola Pokemon research video. So, grab yourself an ice cream treat and let's go to it! Pyukumuku, the sea cucumber Pokemon, a water type. It lives in warm, shallow waters. If it encounters a foe, it will spit out its internal organs as a means to punch them. It's covered in a slime that keeps its skin moist, allowing it to stay on land for days without drying up. Type Null, the synthetic Pokemon, a normal type. Rumor has it that the theft of top-secret research notes led to a new instance of this Pokemon being created in the Galar region. It was modeled after a mighty Pokemon of myth. The mask placed upon it limits its power in order to keep it under control. Silvally, the synthetic Pokemon, a normal type. A solid bond of trust between this Pokemon and its trainer awakened the strength hidden within Silvally. It can change its type at will. The final factor needed to release this Pokemon's true power was a strong bond with a trainer it trusts. Meteor, the meteor Pokemon, a rock and flying type. It lives in the ozone layer where it becomes food for stronger Pokemon. When it tries to run away, it falls to the ground. Although its outer shell is uncommonly durable, the shock of falling into the ground smashes the shell to smithereens. Kamala, the drowsing Pokemon, a normal type. It stays asleep from the moment it's born. When it falls into a deep sleep, it stops moving altogether. It remains asleep from birth to death as a result of the sedative properties of the leaves that form its diet. Turtonator, the blast turtle Pokemon, a fire and dragon type. Explosive substances coat the shell on its back. Enemies that dare attack it will be blown away by an immense detonation. Eating sulfur in its volcanic habitat is what causes explosive compounds to develop in its shell. Its droppings are also dangerously explosive. Togedemaru, the roly-poly Pokemon, an electric and steel type. With the long hairs on its back, this Pokemon takes in electricity from other electric Pokemon. It stores what it absorbs in an electric sap. When it's in trouble, it curls up into a ball, makes its first spike stand on end, and then discharges electricity indiscriminately. Mimikyu, the disguised Pokemon, a ghost and fairy type. It wears a rag fashioned into a Pikachu costume in an effort to look less scary. Unfortunately, the costume only makes it creepier. There was a scientist who peeked under Mimikyu's old rag in the name of research. The scientist died from a mysterious disease. Bruxish, the Gnash-Teeth Pokemon, a water and psychic type. It burrows beneath the sand, radiating psychic power from the protuberance on its head. It waits for its prey as it surveys the area. Its skin is thick enough to fend off Marini's spike. With its robust teeth, Bruxish crunches up the spikes and eats them. Drampa, the placid Pokemon, a normal and dragon type. The mountains it calls home are nearly 2 miles in height. On rare occasions, it descends to play with the children living in the towns below. Drampa is a kind and friendly Pokemon, until it's angered. When that happens, it stirs up a gale and flattens everything around. Dhelmise, the sea creeper Pokemon, a ghost and grass type. After a piece of seaweed merged with debris from a sunken ship, it was reborn as this ghost Pokemon. After lowering its anchor, it waits for its prey. It catches large Wailord and drains their life force. Jangmo-o, the scaly Pokemon, a dragon type. They learn to fight by smashing their head scales together. The dueling strengthens both their skills and their spirits. Jangmo-o strikes its scales to communicate with others of its kind. Its scales are actually fur that's become as hard as metal. Hakamo-o, the scaly Pokemon, a dragon and fighting type. The scaleless, scarred parts of its body are signs of its strength. It shows them off to defeated opponents. Before attacking its enemies, it clashes its scales together and roars. Its sharp claws shred opposition. Komo-o, the scaly Pokemon, a dragon and fighting type. It clatters its tail scales to unnerve opponents. This Pokemon will battle only those who stand steadfast in the face of this display. Certain ruins have paintings of ancient warriors wearing armor made of Komo-o scales. Tapu Koko, the land spirit Pokemon, an electric and fairy type. Although it's called a guardian deity, If a person or Pokemon puts it in a bad mood, it will become a malevolent deity and attack. The lightning-wielding guardian deity of Melemele Island, Tabu Koko, is brimming with curiosity and appears before people from time to time. Tabu Lele, the land spirit Pokemon, a psychic and fairy type. It heals the wounds of people and Pokemon by sprinkling them with its sparkling scales. This guardian deity is worshipped on Akala Island. Although it's called a guardian deity, Tabu Lele is devout of guilt about its cruel disposition and can be described as nature incarnate. Tabu Bulu, the land spirit Pokemon, a grass and fairy type. Although it's called a guardian deity, it's violent enough to crush anyone it sees as an enemy. It makes ringing sounds with its tail to let others know where it is, avoiding unneeded conflicts. This guardian deity of Ula Ula Island controls plants. Tabu Fini, the land spirit Pokemon, a water and fairy type. This guardian deity of Pony Island manipulates water. Because it lives deep within a thick fog, it came to be both feared and revered. Although it's called a guardian deity, terrible calamities sometimes befall those who recklessly approach Tabu Fini. Cosmog, the nebula Pokemon, a psychic type. Even though its helpless, gaseous body can be blown away by the slightest breeze, it doesn't seem to care. Whether or not it's a Pokemon from this world is a mystery. When it's in a jam, it warps away to a safe place to hide. Cosmon, the protostar Pokemon, a psychic type. The king who ruled Alola in times of antiquity called it the cocoon of the stars, and built an altar to worship it. As it absorbs light, Cosmon continues to grow. Its golden shell is surprisingly solid. Solgaleo, the sun Pokemon, a psychic and steel type. Sometimes the results of its opening an ultra wormhole is that energy and life forms from other worlds are called here to this world. In writings from the distant past, it's called by the name the beast that devours the sun. Lunala, the moon Pokemon, a psychic and ghost type. Records of it exist in writing from long ago, where it was known by the name the beast that calls the moon. It sometimes summons unknown powers and life forms here to this world from holes that lead to other worlds. Magearna, the artificial Pokemon, a steel and fairy type. It synchronizes its unconscious with others to understand their feelings. This faculty makes it useful for taking care of people. Built roughly 500 years ago by a scientist, the part called the Soul Heart is the actual life form. Marshadow, the Gloom Dweller Pokemon, a fighting and ghost type. It slips into the shadows of others and mimics their powers and movements. As it improves, it becomes stronger than those it's imitating. It sinks into the shadows of people and Pokemon where it can understand their feelings and copy their capabilities. Now that we have gotten to know all the Alolan Pokemon, let's take a look at the regional forms of the Pokemon that are related to their Kanto counterparts. Alolan Rattata, the mouse Pokemon, a dark and normal type. Its whiskers provided with a keen sense of smell, enabling it to pick up the scent of food and locate it instantly. Alolan Raticate, the mouse Pokemon, a dark and normal type. It makes its Rattata underlings gather food for it, dining solely on the most nutritious and delicious fare. Alolan Raichu, the mouse Pokemon, an electric and psychic type. It's believed that the weather, climate, and food of the Alola region all play a part in causing Pikachu to evolve into this form of Raichu. This Pokemon rides on its tail while it uses its psychic powers to levitate. It attacks with star-shaped thunderbolts. Alolan Sandshrew, the mouse Pokemon, an ice and steel type. Life on mountains covered with deep snow has granted this Pokemon a body of ice that's hard as steel. It lives in snowy mountains on southern islands. When a blizzard rolls in, this Pokemon hunkers down in the snow to avoid getting blown away. Alolan Sandslash, the mouse Pokemon, an ice and steel type. It uses large hook claws to cut a path through deep snow as it runs. On snowy mountains, this Sandslash is faster than any other Pokemon. Many people climb snowy mountains, hoping to see the icy spikes of this Pokemon glistening in the light of dawn. Alolan Vulpix, the fox Pokemon, an ice type. After long years in the ever snow-capped mountains of Alola, this Vulpix has gained power over ice. If you observe its curly hairs through a microscope, you'll see small ice particles springing up. Alola Ninetales, the fox Pokemon, an ice and fairy type. A deity resides in the snowy mountains where this Pokemon lives. In ancient times, it was worshipped as that deity's incarnation. While it will guide travelers who get lost on a snowy mountain down to the mountain's base, it won't forgive anyone who harms nature. Alolan Diglett, the mole Pokemon, a ground and steel type. The metal-rich geology of this Pokemon's habitat caused it to develop steel whiskers on its head. Its 3 hairs change shape depending on Diglett's mood. They're a useful communication tool among these Pokemon. Alolan Dugtrio, the mole Pokemon, a ground and steel type. Their beautiful metallic whiskers create a sort of protective helmet on their heads, and they also function as high-precise sensors. The 3 of them get along very well. Through their formidable teamwork, they defeat powerful opponents. Alolan Meowth, the Scratch Cat Pokemon, a dark type. It's accustomed to luxury because it used to live with Alolan royalty. As a result, it's very picky about food. Deeply proud and keenly smart, this Pokemon moves with cunning during battle and relentlessly attacks enemies' weak points. Alolan Persian, the Classy Cat Pokemon, a dark type. The round face of Alolan Persian is considered to be a symbol of prosperity in the Alola region, so these Pokemon are very well cared for. This Pokemon is one tough opponent. Not only does it have formidable physical abilities, but it's also not about fighting dirty. Alolan Geodude, the rock Pokemon, a rock and electric type. Its stone head is imbued with electricity and magnetism. If you carelessly step on one, you'll be in for a painful shock. Alolan Graveler, the rock Pokemon, a rock and electric type. When it comes rolling down a mountain path, anything in its way gets zapped by electricity and sent flying. Alolan Golem, the Megaton Pokemon, a rock and electric type. It uses magnetism to accelerate and fire off rocks tinged with electricity. Even if it doesn't score a direct hit, the jolt of electricity will do the job. Alolan Grimer, the Sludge Pokemon, a poison and dark type. It has a passion for trash above all else, speedily digesting it and creating brilliant crystals of sparkling poison. Alolan Muk, the Sludge Pokemon, a poison and dark type. Muk's coloration becomes increasingly vivid the more it feasts on its favorite dish, trash. Alolan Exeggutor, the Coconut Pokemon, a grass and dragon type. Blazing sunlight has brought out the true form and powers of this Pokemon. This Pokemon's psychic powers aren't as strong as they once were. The head on this Exeggutor's tail scans surrounding areas with weak telepathy. Alolan Marowak, the Bone Keeper Pokemon, a fire and ghost type. This Pokemon sets the bone it holds on fire and dances through the night as a way to mourn its fallen allies. The cursed flames that light up the bone carried by this Pokemon are said to cause both mental and physical pain that will never fade. And now for the scary part. We'll take a look at all the Ultra Beasts, plus we'll also see some Pokemon that appeared in the Ultra Legends series. Nihilego, the Parasite Pokemon, a rock and poison type. A life form from another world, it was dubbed a UB and is thought to produce a strong neurotoxin. It appeared in this world from an ultra wormhole. Nihilego appears to be a parasite that lives by feeding on people and Pokemon. Buzzwole, the Swollen Pokemon, a bug and fighting type. Although it's alien to this world and a danger here, it's apparently a common organism in the world where it normally lives. Buzzwole goes around showing off its abnormal swollen muscles. It is a one-of-a-kind Ultra Beast. Pheromosa, the Listen Pokemon, a bug and fighting type. A life form that lives in another world, its body is thin and supple, but it also possesses great power. Although it's alien to this world and a danger here, it's apparently a common organism in the world where it normally lives. Blacephalon, the Fireworks Pokemon, a fire and ghost type. It slithers toward people. Then without warning, it triggers the explosions on its head. It's apparently one kind of Ultra Beast, a UB that appeared from an Ultra Wormhole. It causes explosions, then takes advantage of opponents' surprise to rob them of their vitality. Xurkitree, the Glowing Pokemon, an electric type. Although it's alien to this world and a danger here, it's apparently a common organism in the world where it normally lives. They've been dubbed Ultra Beasts. Some of them stand unmoving like trees, with their arms and legs stuck into the ground. Celesteela, the launch Pokemon, a steel and flying type. One of the dangerous Ultra Beasts, high energy readings can be detected coming from both of its huge arms. Although it's alien to this world and a danger here, it's apparently a common organism in the world where it normally lives. Stakataka, the Rampart Pokemon, a rock and steel type. It appeared from an ultra wormhole. Each one appears to be made up of many life forms stacked on top of each other. When Stonewall started moving and attacking, the brute's true identity was this mysterious life form, which brings to mind an Ultra Beast. Kartana, the Drawn Sword Pokemon, a grass and steel type. This Ultra Beast's body, which is as thin as paper, is like a sharpened sword. Although it's alien to this world and a danger here, it's apparently a common organism in the world where it normally lives. Guzzlord, the Junglevoid Pokemon, a dark and dragon type. Although it's alien to the world and a danger here, it's apparently a common organism in the world where it normally lives. An unknown life form called a Yubi, it may be constantly hungry, it is certainly always devouring something. Necrozma, the Prism Pokemon, a psychic type. It looks somehow pained as it rages around in search of light, which serves as its energy. It's apparently from another world. Light is the source of its energy. If it isn't devouring light, impurities build up in it and on it, and Necrozma darkens and stops moving. Poipole, the Poison Pin Pokemon, a poison type. This Ultra Beast is well enough liked to be chosen as a first partner in its own world. An Ultra Beast that lives in a different world, it crackles wildly as it sprays its opponents with poison from the needles on its head. Naganadel, the Poison Pin Pokemon, a poison and dragon type. It stores hundreds of liters of poisonous liquid inside its body. It is one of the organisms known as Ultra Beasts. One kind of Ultra Beast, it fires a glowing venomous liquid from its needles. This liquid is also immensely adhesive. Zeraora, the Thunderclap Pokemon, an electric type. It electrifies its claws and tears its opponents apart with them. Even if you dodge its attack, they'll be electrocuted by the flying sparks. It approaches its enemies at the speed of lightning, then tears them from limb to limb with its sharp claws. Meltan, the Hexnut Pokemon, a steel type. It melts particles of iron and other metals found on the subsoil, so it can absorb them into its body of molten steel. And Melmetal, the Hexnut Pokemon, a steel type. Revered long ago for its capacity to create iron from nothing, for some reason, it has come back to life after 3,000 years. That's it for part 2 of my Pokemon research video. And to end it all off, we have another Pokemon rap for all the Pokemon in the Alola region.
I wanna be the best there ever was. It's an all new quest in Alola.
Rowlet, Lycanroc, Titanol, Trumbeak, Komowo, Bruxish, Tupelele, Comfey, Drownplow, Tiracat, Grubbin, Bonsweet, Dupiter, Sandygast, Beware, Circuitry.
Catch 'em, gotta catch 'em all. Pokemon, for brand new islands, for us to explore, new pokes to commit, and for us to adore.
Salazzle, Marini, Pikipek, Cosmog, Wishy-Washy, Guzzlord, Minior, Wimpod, Steenie, Grimer, Mudsdale, Kamala, Simeon, Palossand, Ninetales, Lunala.
Catch 'em, gotta catch 'em all. Gotta catch 'em all. Pokemon.
Cosmo, Cortana, Rockruff, Yungoos, Rabombi, Pickleball, Brionne, Sandshrew, Toucannon, Delmine, Necrozma, Gumshoe, Fomantis, Solgaleo, Tapabulu, Geodude.
Gotta catch 'em all, gotta catch 'em all. Gotta catch 'em all, gotta catch 'em all. Gotta catch 'em all, Pokemon.
Tapu Fini, Mudbray, Diglett, Dartrix, Elizabeth, Shinnetic, Charjabug, Vulpix, Decidueye, Rattata, Cutiefly, Buzzwole, Dugtrio, Toxapex, Magearna, Papio.
There was 150 originally. Now there's more than 800 for us to catch and breed.
Raticate, Yokomaku, Brawler, Raichu, Incineroar, Galu, Araquanid, Mimikyu, Lurantis, Togedemaru, Sandslash, Stuffle, Crabominable, Muck, Persian, Morlo.
Catch 'em, gotta catch 'em all. Pokemon.
Savali, Pheromosa, Serena, Hakumoa, Salandit, Primarina, Meowth, Tapu Koko, Raveler, Oricorio, Litten, Nihilega, Rangaroo, Marowak, Celesteela, Jangmo-o.
Gotta catch 'em all, gotta catch 'em all. Gotta Gotta catch 'em all, gotta catch 'em all. Gotta catch 'em all, Pokemon.
On the list, we got 2 more. Turtonator and Executor, new Pokemon. They are no joke, go catch 'em all. That's all, folks.
Catch 'em, gotta catch 'em all. Gotta catch 'em all, Pokemon. Catch 'em, gotta catch 'em all. Gotta catch 'em all, Pokemon. Catch 'em, gotta catch 'em all. Gotta catch 'em all, Pokemon.